South Korea stands alone in global history as the only nation to rise from one of the poorest, aid-dependent nations to a top-tier economic power. This dramatic transformation cannot be explained merely by political or economic strategies but by the providential hand of God. In 1948, when President Syngman Rhee founded the Republic of Korea on the principles of free democracy, the national income was merely $35, and the illiteracy rate stood at 90%. Yet in just a few decades, Korea became an economic powerhouse fueled by the diligence, passion, and unity of its people during times of crisis, all under God's sovereign guidance. According to Yale professor Alex Green, Korea's success can be attributed to four major factors. First, the national character of the Korean people: hardworking, passionate, and unified in crisis. Second, President Rhee's land reform policy, which transformed 80% of tenant farmers into landowners, laying the groundwork for democratic stability. This reform led many citizens to defend their land by volunteering during the Korean War. Third, the educational revolution. President Rhee traveled across the U.S., seeking donations to print textbooks so that all citizens could learn to read. As a result, Korea evolved into a knowledge-based society. The fourth factor was industrialization. President Park Chung-hee launched 5-year economic development plans, secured funding from Germany and Japan, and built highways and steel mills. The Korean nurses and miners who went to Germany made personal sacrifices, which deeply impacted Park, motivating him to develop Korea's infrastructure. Among the key accomplishments was the founding of POSCO, Korea's steel giant, which served as the material foundation for national growth and global mission outreach. These achievements were not coincidental but divinely orchestrated. Within this grand narrative, the Korean church played a pivotal role. Rooted in evangelical tradition, leadership training, and missionary fervor, the Korean church is the first in Asia where Christianity truly flourished. With over 7.5 million Koreans living abroad and more than 27,000 missionaries deployed globally, Korea's spiritual diaspora continues to expand God's kingdom. Korea must now go beyond the miracle on the Han River and usher in the miracle on the Korean peninsula. This requires a clear threefold vision: first, a unified Korea; second, an advanced Korea; and third, a missionary Korea. This vision is not just a patriotic dream but a divine commission. Proverbs 2918 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish, but blessed is the one who keeps the law." Only leaders with divine vision and commitment to God's word can truly guide a nation. Leaders, whether presidents, pastors, or CEOs, must possess 5 essential qualities: vision, persuasion, passion, consistency, and execution. When these traits are embraced, both church and nation can flourish in unity and purpose, leading to spiritual and societal revival. The Korean church must no longer remain entangled in internal strife. Regardless of regional or political differences, believers must unite in the gospel. Today's confusion will pass, and God will raise up a unified Korea as a beacon of world missions, using the Korean church as his instrument. This is not merely history, it is prophetic destiny. We must now rise and awaken. The Korean church is not just a local institution, but God's final weapon for world evangelism. When the church awakens, the nation revives, and that awakening begins with vision and prayer.